Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the full moon total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And this is happening on May 26, 2021, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. And this is a very powerful energy that we're working with. We are kicking off eclipse season. And if you guys want to know a general overview of the energies that we're working with throughout this eclipse season, check out that eclipse season 2021 video that I just put out. I will link it in the description box below. You'll also be able to find it in the Astrological Ascension Energies playlist, as well as anywhere else that I feel that it belongs. Sometimes I double post in different playlists, but you'll definitely be able to find it in one of my playlists right up near the top. But there are two major energies that we're working with, two different sets of energies. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about the Gemini-Sagittarius axis and the set of eclipses that we're having along this axis this year. So as I said, if you guys want more information on the overall eclipse season, check out that eclipse season video. I do also want to let people know that there was a lot of interest in the full moon releasing ceremony. And so I am going to be doing one of those, and I am going to start it with this full moon eclipse. I figured, what better way to kick off a series with these full moon ceremonies than to do it on an eclipse. So that had to happen the way it had to happen. The links for that are in the description box below, the directions. Send your donation via one of my personal links. This is going to be a personal thing that I'm doing. It's not related to the new moon manifesting ceremony that I take part in, that some of you guys like to join. It's a whole different thing. So utilize my donation links. Send that donation. I'll get that Zoom link out to you. It's going to be so much fun. I am so excited to do this with you guys and to get this kicked off on the 26th. It's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope to see a bunch of you there. I know exactly who's meant to be there, will be there, and I know that we are going to just raise some incredible energy and have a really powerful and beautiful experience together. Now, getting into this energy. This series of eclipses is very interesting. It's all about belief systems and reworking and rewiring those belief systems. I would also encourage those of you who are interested to check out the video that I did on the nodes. I did a video on the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. The nodes as well as Mercury are going to be very active in these eclipses, in all of the eclipses this season. And as we have 3 of the 4 eclipses of this season along the Gemini-Sagittarius axis and relating to the nodes, the energy of that is very important. So I would encourage you guys to look that up. That is probably in the Astrological Ascension Energies playlist. I'll try to remember to link that below. If I tell you guys I'm going to do something and I don't do it, just comment down below reminding me and I will do it. Sometimes I forget all the things that I want to add into the description box after the videos. But yeah, I would definitely check that out because that's what we're working with. We're working with the energy of beliefs. We're working with that Gemini-Sagittarius axis. Sagittarius is that energy. It is the energy of the gypsy, the student, and the traveler. However, or not and the traveler and the something. I always forget the third one. But the gypsy and the student. And so this Sagittarius energy is in its totality, ultimately, once Sagittarius has gone and experienced everything, exposed themselves to all these different ideas, all these different cultures, all these different belief systems, Sagittarius synthesizes their own belief system. And that belief system is oftentimes absolute. And so that's where Sagittarius can sometimes become the proselytizer. It can become that religious leader, can become that person with those strong opinions that really wants to share those opinions with others. And in its lower vibration can then sort of impress those opinions and beliefs onto other people. So that's the energy we want to be wary of with Sagittarius. And that's a big energy that we see in the world at large right now, is that energy. We are peeling away all of those old belief systems, personally and collectively. And we are seeing people who have very strong belief systems and the damage that can be done when they try to impose those upon other people. So a lot of that is being unraveled right now. We're being asked to move into that that energy of Gemini, which is that energy of being curious. It's that energy of learning, of gaining the facts, the figures, and the information. Gemini is pure Mercury energy, right? It is all about the facts, the info. And Sagittarius energy is the wisdom. Gemini is the how. Sagittarius is the why. That's a really simple way to look at it when we're comparing these different energies. And so as we're going through this process, we're being asked to release all of those old belief systems that are no longer serving us and to open ourselves up to new ideas, new ways to view and see the world. Remember, our belief systems create our perceptions, and our perceptions create our reality. What we believe is true becomes true for us. And so in order to really create strong change in our reality, we have to change our belief systems. That was the whole reason that I got into Theta healing, which is one of the modalities that I do that pairs very well with this eclipse season. So if you're interested in booking a Theta session, my email is in the description box below. But that's why I got into it, because I realized if we can't, like, we spend lifetimes shifting just a few belief systems, right? We don't have time for that in this lifetime. Because we are shifting and changing so much. We are in this process of ascension, releasing all of the density, all of the karma, all of that baggage, all of those perceived limitations, right? All of that density has to go in order for us to ascend. So we're really taking the bull by the horns in this lifetime. And there's a lot there. There's a lot of work to do. And of course we do it and we enjoy it and we really open ourselves up to the process of it, right? Like, it doesn't have to be, when we say there's a lot of work to do, it doesn't have to be a terrible thing. However, it can feel like a lot sometimes. And so there are different approaches that we are gifted, different healing modalities, different things that we can do, different ways that we can approach this to really move through those belief systems a lot more quickly than we have in the past. And Theta healing is just one of those ways. This eclipse season in and of itself is an organic process of doing that and really moving us through some things. It doesn't mean that we're not going to experience more things, right? That we're not still going to be working on belief systems. It's a lifelong process. However, we're going to be really getting to the heart of some deeply ingrained belief systems during this eclipse season. We see during this particular eclipse that we have the moon conjunct 5 degrees away from, so we're going to consider it conjunct the south node, and the sun conjunct the north node. And so we're really looking at, with the moon there, our instincts, our emotions. So these are this is emotional patterning, habitual emotional patterning, and those deeply rooted belief systems that bring through that very visceral emotional response. And so we're really being shown with this eclipse some of what exists within that. Some of those belief systems that are no longer resonating with us, especially as new information and new facts and new ideas come in, right? With that Gemini energy, all of a sudden, perhaps it's not sitting so well. And we're really noticing where it is that our belief systems are ready to shift, or where it is that they're not resonating. Some we're going to discard completely. Some we're simply going to revise based on the knowledge, the information, and the experience that we've gained since they were formed. And so that's what we're really working with and working on with those particular energies. We also have a bisextile going on between the moon, Saturn, and Chiron. And so this is really powerful healing energy that we're bringing in here. Saturn is, of course, lessons, it's karma, it's structure, it's rules, it's all of that energy, right? And Chiron is the wounded healer. This represents our deepest wounds. And the moon, of course, our emotions. And so this is a deep karmic, I heard karmic cleansing in my mind as I was just speaking. Deep karmic cleansing, deep clearing, not just from this lifetime, but plus, like we said, past lifetimes, collective energies. We're really cleansing and clearing and healing a lot of that. And then we're able to move forward from that place of really understanding Understanding where we've been, understanding the pain that we've gone through, the struggles that we've gone through, the process of healing those wounds, right? And what we learned, right? Saturn, what we learned from that experience so that we can move forward. And we have a beautiful connection happening. Neptune still conjunct Pallas and being trined by Mars. So this is a gorgeous energy because it's really allowing us to see things, right? That Neptune Pallas energy is allowing us to see things from a higher spiritual perspective, really connecting the dots, if you will, creating that strategy, seeing the way that things are interconnected, and then seeing the higher spiritual framework of that. So these energies pair really well together. And then this sextile to Mars really helps us to move forward with all of this wisdom. And you guys will probably recognize that this feels very similar to what we talked about with that new moon in Taurus. All of these energies are linked together. So check out that eclipse season video if you want to see more of how they're all linked. Excuse me. But yeah. Yeah, so we're then having that courage to move forward. We're beginning to see the way forward. And we're being guided intuitively. Remember, Mars is still in Cancer. This is a highly intuitive sign. We have Neptune, highly intuitive planet, Pallas, highly intuitive and strategic energy. So we're bringing in the strategy as well, which is really assisting us in moving forward. It's a gorgeous energy of releasing with this Mars, Saturn, Chiron, or this Moon, Saturn, Chiron energy. We're definitely going to be, there's a high likelihood of purging happening. So if you are purging, if emotions are coming up, if things are coming up, allow them to come up and move through you so that they can be released, and just know that that is all part of the process. I want to see if there's anything else that I want to touch on here before we get into the card reading. I think that is really that's really the gist of it here. Yeah, that's really the gist of it, and really what I want to say. Anything else that is meant to come out will come out in the cards. And so how do I want to start? I want to start with the Mystical Shaman Oracle for you guys. Clear. All right. Guidance here for this total full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. We're starting out in this eclipse. We're identifying some of those belief systems that need to be released, that want to be released. And then on June 10th, we have a solar eclipse in Gemini, really bringing in those new ideas, giving us that new information that is necessary now that we've released and let go. Like, what new information? How can we synthesize those new belief systems? And when we hit that total solar eclipse, which is also a new moon eclipse, just like the one in Gemini in June, a total solar new moon eclipse in December, on December 4th, we're really going to be solidifying those new belief systems. That's all in the eclipse season video if you guys want more details about that. But that's just the trajectory that we're looking at as we're moving through here. So what guidance do we have for this eclipse? The Sweat Lodge. Yeah, this is all about purging. This is all about purification. This is all about detoxing. What are we releasing? This is shadow work. This is all of that energy, right? And our belief systems are a very intricate part of our shadow, because most of them were subconscious. Like we said, they come from past lives. They come from our ancestors. They come from the collective. They come from childhood. They come from memories that we don't even recall. Little things that we didn't even think were that important that created a whole belief structure around it. And so this is all very subconscious. So we're really bringing that energy to light, and we're really just that energy of purging and purification that we were talking about coming through very strongly with the Sweat Lodge. What else do we have here? Quite a literal sweat lodge might be a good idea if that's something you have access to. We have the Staff coming out. We have, and I don't know the order, we'll feel it out, Fire. And this is really interesting because the initiation by Fire, the daily reading that I did for today, the day that I'm recording this on, which I believe is the 19th, it talked about the Staff, and it also talked about the initiation by Fire. So that may be a reading that some people want to check out. And then we have the Crow coming out, and Many Paths with the Spiral on the bottom of the deck. So this staff, this is our empowerment. This is our intention, right? And so really moving into, as we purify, this is a purification of our intentions. This is a purification of our desires and our purpose, is what I'm really feeling. And it's able to, as we're able to release, as we're able to purge, we are then able to become so much more clear, right? So much more clear and focused towards where it is that we're going, where it is that we're moving to, right? That south node versus north node energy coming up again. And we're really being led into our future. But what we're being told here is that there are many paths that can take us where we want to go. There is not just one specific path. So it's like, I feel like people are going to be having options coming in. And Spirit is trying to remind you, don't get so caught up in trying to pick the right one. Go with what resonates. Go with what feels right. I feel like for some people, birds, and this has been coming up a lot, are going to be signifiers on your path that are helping to show you what the most fortuitous path for you would be. But just understand that there are many paths that will get you to your destination. It's just what are you going to experience along the way? And this is also that reminder that there are many paths for everyone. There is not one path for ascension. There is not one path for like purification, for any of this. We are all different and we all have our unique paths. So this is also a reminder not to judge other people on the path that they have chosen and the path that they have taken. And this is also an energy I'm feeling like some paths are going to be diverging. Right? This is the energy. Eclipses eclipse things in and they eclipse things out. So there are going to be energies diverging around this time as people are choosing different paths. And that's okay as well. It may sometimes hurt if somebody's choosing a path that is not the same as yours. But it's okay to let them go. And it's, like I said, there's a reason why these cards came out. Check out the daily reading if you guys haven't for May 19th. There's a lot of similar energies and we go much more into the many paths thing in that reading. Whatever path it is that you choose is the path that's meant for you. And we are here to allow others to choose their path as well. And so I wanted to read the Crow for you guys. It says, Crow is the keeper of universal law, the law of truth. Crow teaches us to walk our talk to find congruence between who we say we are and who we really know ourselves to be. This winged one insists that we speak truth, that we create truth instead of searching for it, and that we bring truth to every situation we find ourselves in. When you speak the truth and practice truth, eventually everything you say becomes true. Your power to co-create with the truth is the universal law. Correct what is untrue in your life without judgment. Let the truth set you free. And so this is, once again, we can look at our belief systems as our truths. And so we're revising those truths. We are being honest about ourselves, about what our truths are. And then we're seeing what needs to come into alignment, what is out of alignment, and what needs to come into alignment as a result of the truths that are being revealed to us. Yeah. And we're being asked to walk our path with integrity. Right? That's a lot of the energy of what the staff is about. I'm going to read as well. It's all about our power, our spiritual authority. The staff is a symbol of authority. It holds the power to temper extremes. The staff helps you find the right course of action, the way of the middle, and aids you to maintain your balance after you begin walking in that direction. Moses carried a serpent staff through the desert, and with it he could summon the power of nature to heal or call plagues. The staff reminds you of the impermanence of all things, and that your authority must come from your deep longing to serve. You know how to flow easily between polarities, how to weigh all possibilities, and instinctively select the right path. Trust your inner wisdom and take the first step on a journey that your heart has already embarked on. Use the power of the staff to unite what appears to be divided, to find that delicate balance between will and surrender. And I love how these readings are all tying in together, because I was thinking about that too when I was looking at the many paths. Was something that came up in I think it was also in the Eclipse Season 2021 video that I just did. And that was that knowledge and that understanding of that healing the divide, right? There is a divide that is growing larger and larger between those who have certain views and see the world a certain way and those who don't. Those who are still and this is just my perception when I say this, right? This is just my truth. Those who are still waking up to truth, and those who are, how far are we in that process, I guess is a better way to put it, because we're all awakening to truth at our own pace. But those who are still very much asleep and who are still blinded to a lot of the truth are beginning to be at odds with the people who see more, who know more, who understand more, because they've opened themselves up to more. That's the only difference. That's the only reason. It's not because anybody's better than anybody else. Anybody's more spiritually advanced than anybody else. It's just the path that we have taken and the rate at which we are walking that path, right? All of our paths look differently. So it's really about knowing and acknowledging and understanding that. It's about healing all of those divides. We talked about this as we're closing out this age of Pisces and entering this age of Aquarius, the divide that religion and all of these different energies has created. Healing anywhere where there is a separation. We're looking to see how we can unify, what we can find in common. And we're really also, at the same time that we're doing this, we are knowing and understanding the path that is meant for us and walking that path with integrity, right? We're not compromising ourselves. We are seeking to find balance. We are seeking to extend that universal love to others, but we're not going to see somebody. Say everybody's walking down this path and we know this path is meant for us. We're not going to change direction and start walking that path with them just because everyone else is going down that path. We're still going to walk our path, but we can at the same time find those ways, find those similarities, find those ways to connect and relate to people regardless of what path they've chosen and what path they're on. So that's just another energy there. And I think the reason that they're having me talk so much about the paths and so much about the choice and all of this is because there's something about the energy of this eclipse and this series of eclipses in 2021 that is going to be leading us much further down the path that we've chosen. That we talk all the time about the path of fear or the path of love. There are many people who are still asleep who are choosing that path of fear, and they're doing it subconsciously. They don't even know that they're doing it. Right? And so we can have love and compassion for them, and we can just extend that light and just be that light, right? And there are those who are choosing that path of love, and just what our reality looks like as we choose these different paths. There are a bunch of different ways to look at this new earth and how this is going to happen. Originally last year, I was channeled this image in my mind of the earth's literally splitting and separating. What I'm feeling like now is more what's resonating with me is more that as we move into a different level of consciousness, when the difference between the levels of consciousness gets great enough, we're just not going to be able to, it's like we're going to be living on the same planet, but in different dimensions. And so that planet and that experience is going to be different. And we're not really going to be able to perceive of each other anymore. So that's where the paths are sort of dividing, right? But at the same time where we are going down different paths, we can honor the path that other people choose, and we can still find the ways that we are like them. We can still understand the ways that we are unified and focus on that instead of the things that are causing the divide. We can focus on where we intersect, if that makes any sense. I know that was a really long-winded way of trying to get that out, but I think that this is a major choice point, and the depth to which we allow this purification to occur, the depth to which we really explore these inner dimensions of our being, we explore these belief systems, we explore and understand our personal truth, and then align and unify with our truth. That's going to determine which path it is that we are choosing. And remember, the ultimate way that we choose this path is with our vibration. And that is absolutely going to determine our vibration. The more we release, the lighter we become, clear, and the higher our vibration becomes. Also, the more in tune we become with the unseen, right? With our own souls, with the other dimensions, with our own gifts and abilities. And so it's all about lightening that load right now. What is wanting to be purged in these universal fires, right? What is wanting to be purged and purified? With the sweat lodge and the fire, there's a lot of energy of purification here. So this is going to be a major portal of purification. Coming off of an entire month of portals, right? Major portal of purification. And from that purification, our truth will emerge much more clearly than before. And so we have the Lady of the Gift coming out. Generosity, receiving, and withholding. We're going to get a couple cards here before we start talking about these. We have the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Selflessness, humility, and conscious action. And then, ooh, more of this fire energy coming out, you guys. We have the Wise Womanhood of Wonderland. Integrity and compromise. The Fire Prince, optimism and aggression. And the Dragon's Duel, inner conflict, morality, and conscious choice. All right, these are deep, deep energies that we're working with here, you guys. So this is, of course, us being reminded with these first two cards to practice the art of selflessness, of generosity, of giving and receiving. This is being conscious and selfless in our actions. This is that energy. And this came up in the Eclipse Season 2021 video. This energy, and this is also what aligns us to that path of love, right? Is being in selfless service. Really understanding and embodying what it means to be of selfless service to humanity. It's that when we are acting from a place of pure love and pure selflessness, that is when, see on the bottom of the deck, we have the Diamond Dreamer, material wealth and true prosperity. That's when that comes in, right? When we are spiritually prosperous, we are prosperous in all ways. And when we are aligned with our divine life mission and we are aligned in that place of selfless service to humanity, that's when things really begin to shift and change. So really align yourself with that. One of the easiest ways to align your vibration right now, besides purifying, besides releasing, is this process of just finding those little ways you can be of service to another human being. Finding those little ways today and every day. And that's what conscious action is all about too. It's acting. No, this is not reacting. This is responding. This is about consciously choosing our actions. Conscious love-centered action and service. And then there's a lot of this morality and integrity energy coming through here, which is really interesting. And I want to read, I'm definitely going to read the Dragon's Duel, because this very much is representative of a lot of what we're experiencing right now. But I'm also going to read the Wise Woman of Wonderland for you. And this is the first time this card has ever come out. And this says, the Wise Woman of Wonderland brings integrity to thought, word, and deed. Right? Truth. She lets you know that as long as you're in the flow of honesty and being true to your word, she keeps you under her protection and care. When she appears as your ally, she signals a time when honesty pays off, yielding greater dividends than you expected. You'll be thankful that you remained faithful and loyal to your path. She reminds you that compromise isn't always an option. Stay true to yourself first and foremost. Although it may appear that you could lose something as a result, you can never lose what is truly yours, right? What is meant for me will always be for me. And then that pairs well with the Dragon's Duel. The Dragon's Duel takes place at the proverbial fork in the road. We're talking, is that not what we were just talking about, the fork in the road? It's both ally and challenger at once, as it represents the tension of opposites. Even though the truth is that we live in unity, we experience the duality of faith and doubt, love and fear, right and wrong, black and white. This aspect of your current experience asks you to accept that although you may be going one way, another may call you to change direction. Now is the time to inquire whether it's your ego or your soul leading you. There are always choices in life. Decision-making also solves inner conflict. If you're torn between two dragons, the one that you chose to feed will become the one that wins. Which is it? If it's not the one that serves the highest of your intentions, deliberately feed the other and the duel will be won in your favor. All right, and so this is just that general guidance. If you want to align yourself with that path of love, practice selfless service, practice generosity, practice coming from that open heart center, right? Practice this energy of truth, right? Of living in your integrity, of modeling your truth, of living your truth. Practice this energy of asking, does this serve the highest good of all? If there's ever a question in anything that you're doing, does this serve the highest good of all? And allow that to be your guidepost as you move forward. Yeah. Be honest in your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. As long as we are living in integrity and honesty, as long as we are being generous of spirit, as long as we are asking that important question, right? Does this serve the highest good of all? We're all set. We have nothing to worry about. We have nothing to worry about anyway, ever. But we really have nothing to worry about as long as we take that path. All right, I want to pull a couple Archangel cards. Clear. Guidance for this full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. And remember, Sagittarius energy, that is ruled by Jupiter. That is energy that is all about our morals, our ideals, our values. And so our morals and our values are really being tested here as well. We're being asked to live up to those. And we're being asked to revise those. If there's a reason that we're not living up to those, is it because those aren't truly our morals? Do those belong to somebody else? Or is it a shortcoming of our own, something that needs to be healed within us? Which is it, right? And the Fire Prince, I forgot to read into that one. But that's all that energy of us. That's that purification energy again, and that's that energy of us moving forward along our path. Remaining true to our path, remaining true to ourselves. Yeah, and I mean, just really watch that eclipse season video, you guys, because there's so much that came up in that video that's wanting to come out here. We talked so much about that, of not following the crowd either, right? Of going our own way and standing firmly in our truth. Or maybe that was the daily reading. Watch both of those. I'm telling you guys, these energies are all linked in and they're so important. All right, so we have Archangel Jeremiel coming out first. Learn from your challenges, relax and trust. And then we have Seraphim Seraphiel, who comes out a lot. Tune into the divine will and open to higher illumination. So this is that energy, right, when we're talking about Pallas conjunct Neptune. When we're talking about that trine to Mars, right? Open to that higher illumination. See the higher meaning behind things, behind your challenges. Learn from your challenges. What was the greater spiritual gift and lesson? And trust that even if you are experiencing challenges right now, they are here for your growth. They are here. There's a purpose. Everything serves a purpose. And some of those challenges can be traced back to just energy that we're drawing in based on our belief system. So really open yourself up to changing those and to revising those where they need to be revised. But also just understand and know, if you are experiencing challenges or setbacks, that does not mean that you need to give up. There is a higher plan, so open yourself up to that higher plan. Ask Seraphim Seraphiel to come in and help you to see and understand that higher plan. Ask Archangel Jeremiel, I think, to come through and help you to relax and trust more. And then we have Lady Gaia coming through. Your challenges are lessons. You are loved and welcome on earth. Yeah, so a lot of that energy of challenge coming through here, you guys. So really know and understand whatever challenges you are experiencing. Once you learn the lesson, the challenge will resolve itself. And that's where you tap and tune into that divine will and illumination to understand better if you're having difficulty ascertaining what that lesson is. And the easiest way to figure out what a lesson is that you're learning from something is to ask yourself, what is the gift that I've received from this? How has this changed me? What do I think, know, or believe now that I didn't think, know, or believe before I had this experience? Anything else? And we have cherubim. Look to the stars, accept keys and codes of stellar wisdom. So those activation codes, those keys coming in for us during this full moon portal. So just be open to those as well. As we are purifying and purging, we're also being activated, right? So just ride the roller coaster of that experience. That's really all we can do here. And then Archangel Zadkiel on the bottom of the deck. It's time for transmutation. Carry the violet flame. Call on the violet flame to assist you, to transmute those energies, to assist in that purification, right? We got all this fire energy coming out. So work with that violet flame. And I want to look at the cherubim here real quick. Right? This helps to transmute karma. This helps to transmute any lower vibrational energies. Yeah, but it's really, we're being urged very strongly to stand in our integrity and to live, to walk our talk, to live by our morals and values right now. To revise those where necessary, but to also really live by those and not let ourselves slip. Like, catch yourself if you're slipping, because right now is not the time for that. We are being held to a higher spiritual standard as we are continuing to evolve spiritually. You are blessed to receive the cherubim card, for it indicates you are being lit by beautiful angelic energy. You're being asked to bring this through you and pass it on to others to switch their lights on too. Whether you understand it or not, you are a universal being connected to the stars. Tune into their wisdom by looking at them and thinking about them, and accept the keys and codes of universal light that are being downloaded into you. This will enable you to become an intergalactic master when the time is right. Indeed, you may be one already. Know that pure, innocent, loving cherubs are inspiring and uplifting you. Feel their joy and let it enhance your life. And I feel like they're coming in to lighten up some of this energy for us, because it's so intense with the purging and the purification and everything. The call to right action, right? It can feel a little bit intense. So they're coming in to bring some of that light, to bring some of that love, to lighten up some of this energy for us a little bit and return that joy and that innocence to our lives. Yeah. Really working with the stars as well. This talks about working with the stars. So really get out there and experience this eclipse. Be out under it, underneath the stars, underneath the moon and the sun, just taking in that energy and that activation. All right, I think I'm going to close with, we're going to close with an animal spirit card. Clear. Closing guidance for this full moon total lunar eclipse. The peacock, let it shine. This is all about being who you are, really stepping into your light and strutting yourself, strutting on, showcasing those beautiful tail feathers. And then we have the moth spirit, surrender now. This is us surrendering more to the truth of who we are. Letting go of what everyone told us that we were meant to be, and really embracing the truth of who we are. And really allowing that to shine. Notice how it's shining from the heart center here, as always. So letting ourselves shine, embracing that light, surrendering anywhere where we're trying too hard to be something or someone that we're not. Anytime we're trying too hard to hold on to something, some aspect of our identity, right? These belief systems, a lot of these for many of us are down to our core identity. Who do we believe that we are? Right? How do we define ourselves in the world? That is shifting and changing. So surrender that. Anything that's wanting to leave and be moved out of your reality, surrender that. Let it go. Just surrender to this process. This is also surrendering to your own light. Surrendering to your own beauty, your own majesty, your own magic, and your own light. Some of us, we resist our own light more than anything else, right? Which is so funny, but so true. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the swan spirit. Time for a deep dive. Yeah. We're not allowed to swim in the shallow end of the pool anymore. Right? That's just, the time for that has passed. We are diving deep into those waters, deep into the depths of who we are, the truth of who we are, and seeing what's revealed, seeing what exists, truly viewing what exists within there. I want to look and see, do I want to read anything for you guys out of this? When Swan Spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. You may think you know what is best for you now, but take the plunge into the depths of your awareness, for there is knowledge you are not aware of and great treasures to discover. Deeper understanding awaits you, and a perspective that comes from greater self-knowledge is what you need right now to better understand a situation or relationship. As you come to know yourself more intimately, so too will you come to better know others. So Swan Spirit asks you to go beyond the surface of what is happening between you and others and resist the temptation to judge by superficial appearances. Know there is much deeper potential for loving connections, forgiveness, and mutual understanding. Choose to dive deep into your why, asking the deeper questions of yourself. You are led by the grace of Swan Spirit. And like we said, Sagittarius is that why, right? Gemini is the how, Sagittarius is the why. Yeah. So this is about learning how to be truly intimate with ourselves or others, how to go beyond the surface of situations of anything that's being presented to us with ourselves or with others. And I love how it talks about forgiveness and mutual understanding, because we did touch on that as well, how important that is right now. All right, you guys. I think that we're going to call it for this reading. There's like other ways. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll do another reading as well, looking at the specific belief systems and stuff that some of us are working with. That might be kind of fun. But I think we're going to, for this specific one, we're going to call it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you like this video, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. Tell me how this energy is feeling for you. Definitely check out those other videos that I mentioned. Also, if you guys haven't checked out the Pleiadian portal video, check that out. This eclipse is happening just a couple days after the close of that portal. And so there's some really powerful messages in there too. And some of those really interrelate to some of the stuff we've been talking about today. So I highly recommend you check that out. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And the information for the full moon releasing ceremony is down below as well. Yes, I think that's it. I don't really want to go into any more. My nose is itching like crazy. You guys know this happens to me sometimes, so I apologize for that. I don't think there's anything else I need to get into right now. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. Have an amazing, amazing full moon, and I will see some of you for that full moon Wednesday night.